What's up, y'all? It's the dickhead who never uploads, and I'm back. I don't know if y'all remember me. It's been a long 2 weeks, but I returned from my YouTube hiatus just 'cause I felt like it. Nothing more. With that being said, let's get into the video. We're still in Green World, the same clan I'm always in, and we had this big victory against this pretty strong Vietnam clan. We got 29 out of 40 triples, which is insane, but that's not what this video is going to be on. Maybe I'll make a video on it. I probably will because they deserve it, but today we're going to look at all 6 of my attacks. Now, only 2 of them were triples, but I've been told to share a couple of my fails, and also I think I use a variety of strategies for once this war, so I figured why not. So, with that being said, let's go and order my accounts. First attack, Ocean King, 87% on number 32. Now, I did these all today, so hopefully these plans are still fresh in my memory. And alas, okay. So, I will also explain what I think was the error in each attack as well, and how I would approach it again if I were to replicate it in the future. But, this is the base I hit, and as you can probably guess by what's around the CC, I did a Zap Lalo, 7 zaps on this shit with an EQ, and then 1 zap, 1 EQ in this Inferno, RC in here, head under to kill enemy RC, walk my king over here, break AQ in, she targets the town hall, and then Lalo up in here. Which, it's a bit iffy of a Lalo, because if you look at the pathing, it's a bit inconsistent, because these structures are all left alive, so I did not really break the ring. And then also, I gotta funnel my shit in these Infernos, and I only got 3 spell space to get through 2 multis and 2 scatter shots, which is a bit of a problem. Let's go into the replay. It's the army comp I used, very standard. And got my queen running, or that queen. Start with the zap there, other zaps there. Fortunately, I hit my zaps. And Legends League, before I retired from that, I've been horrible at hitting my zap spells, but it is what it is. I had super wall breakers, or goblins, activated on this account. I had super wall breakers on my main, and I had super minions on the third 13, which I fucking hate them. But we're not going to worry about that. So yeah, I start with the king going there. I pop his ability early because, 1, it would take forever for him to get through the enemy BK on his own, and 2, this prevents him from taking the damage because he just kills it faster. Just let the king move down a bit more. And then here, while it's not a critical error, here's an error I make. I drop all of my wall breakers when I only would have needed 1 more to open this wall. This is a problem because the wall breakers attack this wall, which activates the town hall. Now, I do not wind up wasting a spell on it, and I would have had to pop my queen ability anyway, but still, it's a fundamental error you do not want to do, and my AQ wound up with less health than she would have otherwise. Another option maybe would have been to lead with an ice golem so she could maybe get these expos, but this is what I mean when I said I did not clear a proper path. It's still a ring of defenses around. These expos, if they went down, it would have been an easier flight, but they didn't, so this is what we got to work with. I put my slammer here, hoping to, break the ring with my slammer, but that doesn't quite happen. Start with the Lalo. My slammer just gets nuked, I think, by an Airmine. And then, having only 2 free spells for the 4 splash offenses is catching up. I got an Instagram notification? That's shocking. But, as you can see, I'm just getting destroyed by splash damage. And if I were to do this again differently, I probably just wouldn't even have gone with the Zap Lalo, because I would have needed something to get rid of scatter shots and then multi-infernos, and then the pathing might have been awkward, because it doesn't look like very suitable for a Sui, but the way I definitely approached this the wrong way. I did not make any major errors outside of from the planning, but that's a pretty critical error, so that being said, just let it play out. It's not a 3 stars, so I'm not even going to finish it out. And let's look at my second attack on the Ocean King. Base number 31, and voila, I tripled. But you know, it's shocking. It was not with Lava Loon. I tripled with Queen Charge Hybrid. I never use fucking Hybrid. Why did I triple with it? I was just sick of Lalo, and then I had a vision in my mind for how Hybrid could have worked in the space, and it wound up working pretty nicely. So the plan was I used 5 zaps to get rid of the scatter shot, single, archer tower, and cannon with 5 zaps and an earthquake. The reason I zapped the cannon and the archer tower as opposed to getting this wizard tower and maybe this bow was because I wanted it to double as a funnel because I wanted my AQ to walk in here to the town hall. Used some sneaky goblins to funnel it out. Had a couple headhunters to help with the enemy BK and enemy archer queen because when you do a zap hybrid, you don't have a whole lot of spells left. Generally spaced with 3 big spells or 2 big spells and a free spell, or 2 free spells. I had 5 zaps, a quake, a poison, 2 freezes, a heal, and a rage. I wanted to use my rage right when my AQ engaged the enemy AQ because that's when I predicted the clan castle would come out, but it wound up being a hound and an ice golem, and it staggered, so that wasn't really an issue. And then my BK and a siege barracks up here to clear the funnel down this way, and then just hybrid straight through. Let's just get right into the replay. But yes, I can actually use attacks other than Lava Loon, believe it or not. It's shocking, I know, I don't really believe it myself, but here we are. If I ever start the attack, I'm pretty sure I start with the goblins for a time perspective, because every second matters, you know? If I were to start with the zaps, there would be a bit of a delay before I could put the goblins. This way I can just let the goblins clear them out, which saves like 5 seconds or so. Not really a major thing. This Tesla, by the way, all these attacks are cleanup attacks, but I have varying amounts of knowledge on them. Like, I'm pretty sure I did not scout this base beforehand. I mean, other than, like, I did not look at the previous replays. Same with the last one. I usually don't unless it's a close war because I like to simulate the one attack CWO format so I can just get used to playing like it is there because that's when I try my hardest. Not to say I don't try during these regular wars, but you know, you dig? But yeah, these wall breakers, okay, that's the town hall activated because of the new wall breaker death damage. I wasn't quite sure how that happened, but because of that, I had to burn a rage spell earlier than I would have liked. Because the town hall is just destroying my AQ under the normal healers. That was really just something, I mean, yeah, you could say it's the same thing as last attack, but I just wanted that wall broken, and there was kind of a freak incident that happened. But I poisoned the enemy AQ, because at this point I assume it's 2 more ice golems in the clan castle. It isn't, but my queen can handle pups in her own. Start the siege barracks in the BK, and then hybrid. When it comes to deploying hybrid, it's much simpler than deploying loons, but you just gotta follow this order. Miners, wait for them to get to the defenses, then hogs and RC, put the warden with the miners, and then just let it sweep through. When using hybrid or hogs, I like to warden earlier than not, so I'll warden before I need to drop a heal. That way I have the most troops alive to where they could take advantage of the warden's effect. And that they do, just smashing through everything. I'm really unsure what to do with these free spells because there's no normally I'd use them on scatter shots, but I'm very popular today. There are no scatter shots left alive, but went with what I had to work with, and it worked pretty well. About now, I begin debating, maybe I should use hybrid more often. And maybe I will. I'm still a Lava Loon attacker first and foremost, but I do know how versatile this attack is. I've just never actually gone around to using it. But that is a 3-star. One of many from this war. Alright, y'all, we are back. And now, you probably didn't even notice that I left. And if you did, then I guess I'm just not that sneaky. But we are on my account Cataclysm. I've had a fucking curse with this account lately. I'm 0 for 8 or 0 for 10 in my most recent attacks with it. It's insane. And as you can see, I got super minions. I fucking hate them solely for the fact that they mess with my cleanup with Lava Loon. I'm primarily a Lava Loon attacker, and while they are good in the quote-unquote flybrid, I hate that name, attack composition, I don't really use that. But with this attack, as you can see, it's another Zap Lalo with the 8 zaps and 2 EQs, but this one is different. So, I noticed that these scatter shots are right next to each other, along with the clan castle. And 4 lightning spells and and 5 lightning spells and an earthquake, or 2 lightning spells, or 4, Jesus Christ, I cannot speak. 5 lightning spells and 1 earthquake, or 4 lightning spells and 2 earthquakes can take out a scatter shot. But if you do the math, these scatter shots are right next to each other, so I can use 4 of them on each, and then the same 2 earthquakes on there. So I use 10 spell space to get them instead of 12. Yeah, my math is right. Also, a clan castle dies. I shift because 6 lightning spells in a clan castle, plus 2 earthquakes kills a clan castle. I shift it so I get 2 lightning spells to catch the sweeper along with the scatter, 2 to get the CC and the scatter, 4 right here. And then also, the earthquakes should soften up this single infernal enough for me to do the RC shield spam trick to get rid of it. So this would be done. My RC would go by the enemy RC, for which I have headhunters. And then that also creates a funnel leading this way. I walk my BK in here, funnel these off, and wall breaker in here, and then send my AQ in also. They get all this, the enemy AQ, the eagle, and theory. So basically half the base is gone. And I just lollo up through here with the 3-hound lava loom with the goblin blimp because there's nothing around the town hall, and in theory this should be overkill. Well, that didn't quite work out because of the cataclysm curse. I feel so fucking stupid when looking back at that. Look how badly I missed that scatter shot with the lightning spells. So I didn't realize it right away, but I missed the first 2 zaps, so this scatter shot's not going down. And at this point also I realized, wait, the angle to this Inferno Tower for the RC isn't too hot. She's going to target this Archer Tower first, but then she's probably going to be closer to this Mortar or this Archer Tower next, so the shield won't go where I want. And that's exactly what I want. I take like a minute to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. And then, lo and behold, she goes the wrong way. So, at this point, the attack is just dead. So we're just going to go in ×2 after that. I'm thinking just, what the fuck. So at this point, I decided to get the brilliant idea of sending my BK for the enemy RC, just sending my AQ naked up here to get the enemy AQ, and then just trying to pull something out of my ass. That doesn't work. I'm not sure if even God could have saved me here, but this is a very, very sad failure. Now, on paper, the correct adjustment would be to not be blind when using my lightning spells. But in reality, it goes more than that, because then it still would have missed the Inferno Tower anyway. So, once this attack plays out, I'm going to go in a scout view and theorize what I could have done differently. I'm just using the super minions as cleanup here, because that's just what they do for Lalo, I guess. They don't really do a whole lot for the actual Lalo attack. Somehow I get into 80%, which is not bad, but I got a pretty good chunk of the base considering how badly everything went. But let's get back right. What base is that? Cataclysm 21. Alex cleaned it up. But if I wanted to, say, take out this Inferno Tower, I probably should have used like a Yeti or a couple of loons to get rid of this Archer Tower and this Mortar. Maybe even snipe off this Archer Tower and send the RC straight here by this gold mine, spam the ability. That would have left the enemy RC alive, but I did bring headhunters and there's not a whole lot of ground targeting stuff around here, so that probably would have gotten the job done, and I think that would have been well worth the loon investments. But with that being said, let's get into Cataclysm's second attack. What base is it? Or even am I? 25. This one was painful. So I'd use the Flybird Dragbat on this base. For those of you who are new, the Flybird, I hate that name so much. I like Air Hybrid more, but whatever. It's a combination of dragons and super minions. And I combine that with bat spells, and it's actually a pretty fairly effective combo, to be honest. It's also good in the zone, but I know basically nothing about dragon attacks without bats, and I am going to learn today. So I started this attack by noticing there's a very nice path to the scatter shot of defenses. So I used 2 lightnings and 1 earthquake to get rid of the scatter shot, send my RC, spammer shield, it goes Archer Tower, Cannon, Expo, scattershot, and I favor my lightnings, so this air sweeper dies. It means this expo stays up, but that's not the end of the world. And then I want to send my BK over here to just funnel around so my dragons can go down through this area. Send my AQ over here to just do a little bit of funneling. I have a baby dragon that I want to use to snipe off this wizard tower at the bottom. And then obviously the flybird flies through this way, all the way down from like this archer tower to this mortar, just through all of these, gets the eagle, multi-scatter, less resistance because the sweeper's down, trailed by a blimp to get with the dragon and 5 loons to get to the town hall, and then bats with 2 free spells to cut off this bottom section, because this wizard tower is dead. Right? Well, let's get into the attack, shall we? 96%. I'm still mad about this attack, bro. I should have had this triple. But, whatever. We gotta stop simping and just use it as comedy, right? Now, another thing that should probably be worth mentioning is, again, this is not a fresh hit. T-Quay actually got somewhere in the mid-90s with similar drag bat, but I didn't even watch his combo. But, for some reason, there is a double dragon in this clan castle. Normally a double drag is not a problem, but whatever. And I don't know why I said that. I forgot why I brought a baby dragon during the attack, so I used it to funnel. Remember that. Just remember that. I placed my BK where I do, thinking, okay, he can get that wizard tower. AQ goes down there, I use a little super minion to funnel. That's all good. And at this point, I notice, oh shit, look how wide the base still is. I barely created a funnel. But, I got an idea. I send my dragons up at this side, and then eventually the CC dragons will finally target mine. And then, I use the super minions to clear off this section of the base. I'm not even gonna lie, I was pretty proud of that. It forced my dragons down in a very narrow section. These things do a shit ton of damage, especially on defense. If y'all aren't using super minions on defense, y'all gotta get on that wave, because they just fuck up queen walks like there's no tomorrow. So yeah, I rage, I use the blimp. They crush through everything that matters. Somehow this wizard tower dies, which is good, because I don't gotta freeze it. So I still got two. In theory, I got 2 freeze spells to use for 1 splash defense left, right? I use 1 for the town hall, because I can, just to make sure it goes down. And then I send my bats here, freeze the wizard tower. And then it's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot of the base left. Yeah, there's a Tesla farm, but that shit dies quickly. Alright, cool. It could get close with the enemy heroes, but I got this 3 locked up. Right? Wrong. At this point, I noticed the wizard tower, and I just try and save it with some archers, but to no avail. And to be fair, these Teslas probably would have killed all my bats anyway, and my flybird could not fight through the enemy AQ, but what I probably should have done was brought an ice golem. But yeah, that wizard tower, fucking pain, man. Big pain. So I finished with 96, and then air trap ruins my life. Sucks. Alright, y'all. My bad if I sound a bit pissed off in this section going forward. I just recorded the whole thing and then realized I forgot to record the audio, so we starting over. But all you need to know is that I still got the hose in my DMs, which you may or may not see the results of with all these fucking notifications. But without further ado, we did Ocean King, we did Cataclysm, now we on the beast himself. Myself, my true form, T-Quay. So, I'm doing a Zap Lalo. I wait for the AQ to get right here. I just realized this is the actual replay. Zap this compartment. Send my RC, send an Ice Golem, trailed by my RC to this mortar. Tanks all this. Use my RC to just clear out this section. Baby Dragon and shit to funnel. Break my BK and AQ in here. Clear enemy RC. This multi, shit like that. Then I got this weird funny shape left. I send a Lalo, 3 freezes as you can see. I got 3 hounds plus a 4th hound with the goblins and the blimp. The one thing to take away is that yes, there is gaps around the town hall, which usually is a no-no for doing the goblin blimp, but as I said before, These are all cleanup attacks, and for once I actually did watch the replay, just to verify there are no small bombs or spring traps right there. And there weren't, so it was full send ahead. Without further ado, let's get into the attack. So speaking of being mad, I was pretty pissed off by the time I was actually doing this attack. Because the way I do my attacks is all my accounts are in the same clan. I just do them one after the other. And for OCD reasons, I do them in this order: Ocean King, Cataclysm, T-Quay. Then train, come back, train troops, plan, come back in an hour, Ocean King, Cataclysm, T-Quay. So, as you may or may not remember, I already failed my hose on the DMs. I already failed my first hit on Ocean, and I failed my first hit on Cataclysm too, with a pretty annoying human error. I don't get that annoyed if I fail unless I'm just doing it over and over again, but if I fail because I actually fuck up a part of the raid, that pisses me off. So yeah, I'm already triggered. So I'm like, okay, I got to get this triple. And this entry actually goes pretty nicely. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I did it. But that is a lot of splash damage left alive. My balloons take a lot of damage. And then here is one technical error that I made that I did not realize until I watched this replay back for the first time. Notice the scatter shot. It targeted my lava hound, and because of the way scatter shots work, these balloons are going to take a lot of damage. What I should have done was place this third lava hound into this air defense earlier, so this scatter shot locks onto this hound, and then followed up with balloons, so I don't have two scatter shots basically doing damage to all my balloons. So I lose a lot of stuff and a lot of health from that. And then also, just a crappy warden ability. I catch like 3 balloons and not even my blimp. But thanks to the overpoweredness of my efficient Sui plus 4 lava hounds, I somehow have enough in the tank to get a 3-star. But this does nothing to help my temper because I'm still pissed, because in my mind, I have pretty much it's not the case at the moment, but as you'll see at the end of the raid, pretty much all my fucking balloons are dead. So I'm thinking, alright, I still did a shitty raid. Can I just get a good raid? And I did on Ocean's second attack with that hybrid. But this attack, shitty as it may be, it was a 3-star. And 3 stars are what win the wars. So I can't truly complain about that. Last and not least, we go on my second hit, number 28. Another painful fail. Fares beat me by 1%, but we're not worrying about fares, which means I'm probably going to have to go back to whatever. So we did another zap Lalo. Okay, and I got options. I could zap the scatter shot, air sweeper, air defense, the clan castle with 5, and then 2 on here. Or I could just go 7 on the eagle, 7 on the eagle and clan castle, and angle them to get this air sweeper, and this air defense. No archer queen. Actually, maybe I could have, but I didn't. But pretty much TODR, I could get the eagle artillery, or I could get the scatter shot. I went with the eagle. And then I have a really good Sui on this base. So again, I sent an ice golem up here with my RC. Because it's a multi-inferno, I did not feel that I needed to bring the extra zap and earthquake, so I didn't. RC clears this compartment nicely. Funnel behind, I send like a Yeti to clear this, with the Yeti mines to take out this mortar, and then super wall break into this compartment. My BK and AQ clear all this to scatter this air defense. I did not expect them to get the enemy AQ and RC, but it was a possibility. I brought headhunters just in case they didn't. But by now, you might see what the issue is. I have a strange path for the Lalo, but it's not terrible. And there is 1 air defense left at a very odd spot. So I planned to go 3 lava hounds. 1 lava hound just to pull the enemy heroes, and then when this cannon went down, I'd take them out with headhunters. Another hound to get my shit in here. Save a bunch of balloons to funnel off these defenses to force my balloons to go to the scatter shot faster, with a goblin blimp and a 3rd hound for this town hall. And I brought 3 freezes because I knew damn well this scatter shot was going to be a problem. But as you can see by the fact that I did not 3-star, that did not go to plan. And as you can see pretty quickly, I went in with 4 lava hounds instead of 3. I had a third lava hound instead of the 6 extra balloons. And yeah, that if I could change one thing about this attack, I would have actually brought the right composition, because I needed the extra utility in those balloons badly. And you'll see why as this attack goes on. So I start with the funnel. Let the ice golem actually aggro everything before I send the RC in. I just sound tired and dead at this point, man. It's because of all the pain from these attacks, bro. When you fail, it sucks, because you want to succeed. But that's why there's always alcohol. Anyway, I get my stuff sorted. I love super wall breakers so much, Dan. The best part about this update is that you can actually bring you can always have the same super troop activated, and I've always going to have super wall breakers here. I have super minions on Cataclysm, but as soon as that runs out, I'm just going to go super wall breakers there too. And I currently have sneaky goblins and Ocean King, but low key I might change that to super wall breakers, because they're just too good to not have, bro. But yeah, I get pretty much everything I expected I would. Some nice damage in the enemy AQ. I'm going to start with the balloons. I mean, yeah, played the hounds the way I said I would, but look, I ran out of balloons already. Did I use too many balloons on this section? Yes. But I could have used those balloons on this archer tower, and then by taking out probably this hound, I could have used with 3 more balloons for this and this respectively. You'll see how that comes into effect later. That was probably it. No, I wanted the balloons to group up, which, funnily enough, is what more balloons would have helped prevent. So I freeze that for some reason, probably because of that's a lot of lava pups. Probably because of the multi and the enemy heroes. Send everything through. And I see that it's not going to be an issue, so I hold my Warden ability, because I know I can tell my blimp's going to make it. That freeze spell might not have been necessary, and as you can see, that scatter shot is going to be a problem. The lava hound is there, but you know what I should have done? I should have brought a golem or something, or an ice golem in there. Yeah, that would have helped a lot. Bring 2 ice golems in the blimp, freeze the scatter shot while they're actually killing it. So, what's the word? My shit doesn't target the sneaky goblins, but then it still would have pulled it anyway. But then the king would have triggered bringing ice golems in the blimp would have been the move. Well, you live and learn. I never thought to do that before, but it is what it is. But either way, the actual result was a fail. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope that seeing me not succeed gives you a bit of a different perspective. With that being said, T-Quay out. Have a good night.